up on DC News Now at 4.
Heavy rainfall and thunderstorms continue to cross the DMV. We'll let you know when things will finally start to calm down.
Then, Fairfax police sharing this video of a massive car meetup. We're live at the scene to break down the chaos. And some big cuts coming to the district if the mayor's new budget gets the okay. What services will be hit the hardest? And court can be intimidating, especially for children. We're looking at a program to help ease those concerns for DCU. Plus, how's your sleep hygiene? It's Wellness Wednesday. An expert shares how to get the most out of your nightly routine.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us on this Wednesday for DC News Now at 4. I'm Tosin Fakile in for Mark and Annalisa this afternoon. We'll get to those top stories in just a moment, but we start with our weather. It is a DMV First Warn Day, and we have had a lot of rain coming down across our area and the chance for some severe weather. Let's take a live look outside right now over Roslyn. You can see the cloud, the fog. It was raining as I was driving into work today. So let's get over to meteorologist Damon Matson for a first look at our forecast. And Damon, I mean, it is not easing up. We're dealing with flooding, some areas seeing even stronger watches. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, exactly right, Toast. And this was the day we were concerned about as that rainfall continued to pile up across a large portion of the region. And on top of that, we had the severe weather threat that came to fruition earlier this afternoon. A tornado watch was issued. It still is in effect until 7 p.m. only, though, across our far southern counties, King George, St. Mary's, Calvert counties under that tornado watch as a line of thunderstorms is working its way off to the south and east. Now, for the rest of the viewing area, we still do have some flood watches that are in effect until 6 p.m., primarily across north central Maryland, the D.C. metro, back into parts of northern Virginia. And on top of that, we have ongoing flood warnings, including along the Monocacy River in Frederick County, Maryland there, as water levels rose quite a bit as additional rounds of steadier rainfall occurred here today. And all total over the last 3 days, some parts of the region have picked up 4 inches of rain. That is easily enough to cause some flooding problems. Now, here's that main line of thunderstorms I was talking about. We've been keeping an eye on this all afternoon. We had some heavier rainfall, some thunder and lightning through the D.C. metro down to the south along I-95. This line is slowly weakening, at least the northern half of that line is, as we're just seeing some lighter rain showers. Most of any stronger storm activity is over with across the D.C. metro, so some good news there. We may still see a little bit of rainfall as we head into the night, but as we go down to the south, there is still quite a bit of thunderstorm activity coming out of the northern neck of Virginia here, and this is going to cross the tidal Potomac River, and we still have an active tornado warning that is just outside of the DMV here, far southern St. Mary's County. We're keeping a very close eye on this storm as it does cross the river and head over towards St. Mary's County. So we'll keep an eye on the very southern edge of this line, but again, the good news is outside of that, we are looking at things starting to lighten up here as we go into the overnight hours. So we'll talk about what's next in terms of behind this storm system heading into your Thursday and Friday, and we'll continue to track some additional rounds of rainfall and those flood warnings. That's all coming up in a full look at your forecast here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. And you heard Damon talk about flooding. One area that's prone to flooding is Old Town Alexandria, and it's right now seeing some of that flood. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg is live at the corner of King and Union Streets. Daniel, what are you seeing right now?
Well, Tosin, this area is flooded. I'm standing in a couple inches of floodwater here. Now, this is not from the Potomac. This is likely from backed up drains in this area, but you can see right over this way, Mai Tai restaurant, some of those tables and chairs are currently underwater. This whole area, you can see people running through some of this water. Just because the rain has let up a little bit, of course, does not negate the flooding that we've seen here and in other areas. You can see cars and people are still driving through the area, so no road closures at the moment. But if it does get any worse than this, please do pay attention to some of those road closures. We were in Vienna a little bit earlier where there was some flooding in some neighborhoods, and I saw a Jeep actually remove a barrier and go through the floodwater. There's a reason that public officials tell you to turn around, don't drown. But I did talk with one local general manager of a coffee shop just right down that way. It looks like they have not gotten any floodwater up to their door, but they do have some sandbags outside just in case. Here's how he reacted to today's wet weather.
You know, they say, what is it, April showers bring May flowers, so it's going to happen, but, you know, it'll be beautiful out there sooner or later.
So as you can see, the Potomac River, we were here around noon, certainly has risen, has not gone over the banks just yet, but that is something to keep in mind. Again, just because the rain has stopped doesn't mean these water levels could rise in certain areas, especially in some of these neighborhoods. We know some Rock Creek Park roads have been closed along Beach Drive because of this flooding. So the best advice is if you see a barrier, do not go around it. And if you see flooding, don't drive through it. We're live in Old Town Alexandria. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
That's good advice there, Daniel. Thank you, and be safe out there. A new video of a street takeover in Springfield. Officers in Fairfax County are investigating and making arrests after dozens of drivers descended on the city during a car meetup. Take a look at your screen. Police say one of those drivers hit an officer with their car Sunday morning. DC News Now's Randy Bass is live at the scene in Springfield, Virginia. And Randy, more of that wild video shows what really happened.
Yeah, a very crazy scene here in Springfield, Toast, and that video shows people jumping on top of police cruisers, doing donuts here in this secluded industrial parking lot down a back road in Springfield. This is on the back side of an industrial building here. We want to show you the complete chaos that really unfolded here early Sunday morning. Easter Sunday, police say they first got to the scene right around 3 o'clock in the morning. A young female officer on patrol first came across the meetup and went back to investigate. Almost immediately, dash cam video captures them surrounding her police cruiser, boxing her in, banging on the glass, and trying to pull unlocked door handles, trying to rip metal license plates from the back of the car. Someone else seen hanging out the window of a car holding what appears to be a rifle. Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis says the young officer kept her composure. He fears this group of bangers, as he calls them, could have had terrible intentions.
To then aggressively and criminally approach a police officer in a uniform in a marked patrol car and surround that car and damage the car and attempt to yank the rear license plate off the car and try the door handles to get to her, and I believe in an effort to drag her out of the cruiser and harm or kill her, that's unacceptable. This is not normal.
Yeah, one of those reckless drivers, police say, hit a Fairfax County police officer and sped off. That officer had minor injuries. Officers tell us they have made several arrests in connection with this massive car meetup over the weekend. Police Chief Kevin Davis also telling reporters earlier in the day today he and other departments in this area believe the same group of car enthusiasts, bangers as he called them, are behind multiple meetups we've seen across the region here over the last several months. We'll have more on that coming up at 5 o'clock. For now, though, live in Springfield, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Unbelievable video there, Randy. Thank you. In the district, police are investigating after a man was found dead with gunshot wounds. It happened just before 7:30 this morning on Fort DuPont Drive in Southeast. No further information was given by police. We'll have updates on air and online as we learn more. A man was rescued after getting trapped in a trench in the district. It happened around 11 a.m. on Warren Street Northwest. The man worked for a plumbing company outside of a home when the 5-inch wall collapsed on his knees. Officials say the man is expected to be okay. In the district, Mayor Muriel Bowser presented the $21 billion budget to City Council this afternoon. That budget includes major cuts to programs, some layoffs, and gets rid of vacant jobs. Our political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming has been looking through the budget documents. And Leonard, how is Council feeling about these cuts?
Good afternoon. You know, Council members have had tough questions and concerns for Mayor Bowser, her administration. This hearing is 4 hours in and it's still going on for the more than $500 million in cuts to very, very popular programs as well as staffing. While they're still investing in downtown and the police department, the expenses for the city are far outpacing the revenues, and the mayor says that these cuts were inevitable. While DC is spending millions more than it raises in revenue, the district is turning to a sales tax increase from 6 to 6.5% in October and 7% in 2026 to help fund Metro. There was also an 80-cent tax hike for hotel rooms to financially boost the 911 call center system. Some program cuts include the DC circulator bus system, which officials say has lagged ridership, and the early childhood educator pay equity fund to increase pay to child development staff. Nearly 480 city jobs, most of which are already vacant, will be eliminated, including 69 full-time employees being laid off. Mayor Bowser says DC still remains strong despite the cuts.
I know that there will be some questions about which programs we chose to scale back and right size, and my team and I will be in the community in budget hearings over the coming weeks to answer these questions. But reductions alone were not enough. In some years, it got us close to covering our base cost and must-fund items, but left no additional funding for the types of catalytic investments that will fuel our.
These budget cuts will be discussed in hearings starting as early as tomorrow with council, and as you heard the mayor say, she'll be out in the community talking about this, and we do expect to hear from the mayor in a press gaggle as soon as this hearing is over. Reporting for the Wilson Building, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now. Back to you.
Leonard, thank you. Montgomery County leaders, they came together to discuss ongoing efforts to enhance public safety in downtown Silver Spring. DC News Now's Kevon Dupree has more.
Montgomery County leaders convened at the Silver Spring Civic Building to talk about the various safety measures being put in place in downtown Silver Spring. Working to make downtown Silver Spring a safer place for neighbors to live.
There's a perception of fearfulness and a feeling of unsafety, and when those perceptions are out there, they become real.
Officials say crime increased by 10% countywide last year, and because of this, they've already started implementing several changes.
One of our most famous programs is our drone program. We have drones in downtown Silver Spring and Wheaton. My budget expands them to Germantown and Bethesda. We've added more cameras in our garages, more to come, and we've expanded the use of license plate readers.
The latest change is legislation passed by County Council Tuesday that requires hookah lounges and smoke and vape shops to close at certain times.
If you are an establishment that serves alcohol or serves hookah, you will be closing at 2 a.m. during the week or 3 a.m. on the weekend.
One downtown Silver Spring hookah lounge owner says he's okay with the new law.
People are not safe, after that hour. So personally, I encourage, at least until 2 o'clock, people enjoy, whatever they want.
But not all county leaders are in favor of the bill.
I'm concerned, too, that this bill will put small businesses, most of them, if not all of them, black and immigrant owned, out of business.
And that late night establishments bill passed on a 10-to-1 vote. Reporting in Silver Spring, I'm Kevon Dupree, DC News Now.